Another police department is now looking into its unsolved murder cases following the arrest of Rex Heuermann. You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Macy Egeland. Las Vegas police tell Newsday they are now looking to see if any of their unsolved cases could be linked to the suspected Gilgo Beach killer. Now, Heuermann owns property in Vegas and South Carolina, in addition to his Massapequa Park home. Police here on the island have confirmed 200 guns have been taken from the basement of his house. Now, in addition to those guns, toys and backpacks were also some of the items recovered from the residence. Computers, furniture, and a piece of wood were removed from 2 storage units in Amityville. The 59-year-old was charged with murder in the killings of 3 women. Those victims were Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello, whose bodies were found in 2010 in the Gilgo Beach area. Now, Heuermann has pleaded not guilty to those killings. A spokesperson for Suffolk County Sheriff says Heuermann has been placed on suicide watch, and the special grand jury in the case will sit through September 15th. Newsday's team of journalists is working around the clock to bring you the very latest on the Gilgo investigation. To read more about the case, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box on our homepage. Well, Donald Trump says he is now a target in the investigation into efforts to overturn the 2020 election. The former president said on social media he got a target letter Sunday night. That letter signals that Trump could soon be indicted by federal prosecutors. If that happens, it would be Trump's 3rd criminal indictment. A vote tomorrow on fare hikes for the MTA. If approved, Long Island Railroad commuters can expect prices to rise about 4%. Tolls could jump as much as 10%. The MTA has set a $500 cap on the cost of monthly LIRR tickets. If approved, those changes would take effect after Labor Day. So check out Newsday TV and the Newsday homepage tomorrow for those results of the vote. We will keep you posted. Looks like the Sachem School District may be ready to comply with the statewide Native American mascot ban. Sachem missed a June deadline to agree to stop using Native American names, logos, and mascots. Now, the district's website says it will form a committee to come up with a new team name and logo to replace its current flaming arrows. However, Sachem and other districts, including Amityville, Wantagh, and Massapequa, are maintaining their right to challenge the state's ban. The Lindenhurst School superintendent has resigned after 1 year on the job. The school board accepted Anthony Davidson's resignation in a 10-minute meeting Monday night. Davidson was previously a teacher and administrator in the Comac and Locust Valley districts. The district's website says Deputy Superintendent Vincent Caravana will be the interim replacement. 8 people have been busted in connection with an alleged cocaine ring here on Long Island. The Suffolk District Attorney says the ring used the U.S. Postal Service to mail packages of cocaine from Puerto Rico to Long Island. During one search, authorities say they found a kilo of cocaine hidden under a baby's crib. 2 roommates have been arrested and charged in a string of bank robberies. Police say Joseph Hill and Stephanie DeMola from Mauritius robbed a TD Bank and Webster Bank last week. Authorities say the pair also tried to rob a Chase Bank. At one of them, a woman wearing a motorcycle helmet threatened violence while demanding money. Police did not say how much was taken. First in Newsday, the Superblock property in Long Beach is expected to open its doors early next year. Developers telling Newsday the building will be ready for occupancy in March. Now, there will be 3 luxury buildings of condos and apartments along the boardwalk. The 6.5-acre lot sat vacant for years during a 60-year legal stalemate. Residents say the $369 million project will boost the local economy. Uniondale Fire Department is getting its first female chief. Chief Jessica Ellerby will be the first woman to lead the volunteer fire department in its nearly 100-year history. Ellerby says her focus will be on recruitment, upgrading the department's technology, and strengthening mental health support. Let's take a look at your Long Island weather now. Tonight, we can expect some rain across parts of the island as those isolated storms continue, temps in the low 70s. Tomorrow, there is the chance of more isolated storms in the early afternoon, highs in the low 80s for your Wednesday.
Get more of the stories you've seen on Newsday TV at Newsday.com. Plus breaking news, investigations, things to do, restaurants, and other Long Island news you can't get anywhere else. At Newsday.com, covering Long Island like no one else can. Newsday Sports is brought to you by PC Richard & Son.
Well, it's a feat many golfers only dream of. A hole-in-one, and one Long Islander has managed to do it 14 times. Carissa Kelman has the story you'll see only in Newsday.
Probably about 8 of them were in tournaments. The first one was in a tournament in a junior tournament in Miami. I was probably about 13 years old.
While most golfers will never make a hole-in-one, Jane Sermons happens to be an extraordinary exception because she would sink 13 more.
They were maybe 1 or 2 every couple years.
And then came her 14th, here in Huntington, where the retired LPGA player is an instructor.
It landed in this area and it almost came to a complete stop. Then it hits this hill and starts rolling down, and it was like slow motion into the hole. Seemed like it took about 5 minutes, and really it took probably about 30 seconds of that.
Her most recent ace here at Cold Spring Harbor Country Club was almost 20 years after her last.
I thought I wasn't going to get any more ever in my life. It's been too long. It was over 20 years. This one was amazing.
But for Sermons, the greatest joy of golf is teaching it to others.
I just love it. I love sharing my love for the game. I can't imagine doing anything else.
In Huntington, Carissa Kelman, Newsday TV.
Well, they are sure learning from one of the best. You can read more about Jan Sermon's 14th hole-in-one on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. For the Shinnecock kelp farmers, reseeding the bay is a way to keep ties with their cultural heritage. Photojournalist Randy Dodonna has the story you'll see only in Newsday.
Kelp is really in our DNA. Growing up on Shinnecock, we would make like a feast out of everything that we got from the bay. Only 380 years ago, we had everything. The land, every single inch of this land was ours. It's the best of both worlds here, being able to help clean the waters and pass that down to our children.
We're women who are worried about our children and their children and other future generations' ability to stay here and subside on the abundance of shellfish that have always sustained us here and now are really threatened by the excess carbon and nitrogen in the water. We accomplish our work by farming sugar kelp, which is a type of seaweed that is indigenous to this area and has a multitude of very beneficial uses.
The environment is changing and so much is taking place where you can't even survive off the land anymore or in the water.
Oh, wow.
Going out into the water when we were kids, our mothers would bring us, we'd walk on the seaweed and slip and pick it up and play with it. You know, at that time we had to learn that it had a purpose in our community. It makes me feel like I am doing what my mother and my grandmother left for me to do, and that is do the best that you can where you are.
Read more about the kelp farmers on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Watch Newsday TV on the big screen. Use the remote to activate Siri, Alexa, Roku, or the Google Assistant on your streaming device. Say install Newsday. Newsday TV, covering Long Island like no one else can.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Macy Egland. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll leave you with a look at your 7-day forecast.